These are the topics we will talk about in this chapter: administrative ethics, bureaucracy and ethics, and formal rules and discretion. In the introduction, teleological theories of ethics focus on the consequences of actions to determine whether they are right or wrong. In the context of human resources, teleological theories might lead a manager to make decisions that maximize profits or productivity, even if those decisions have negative consequences for employees. Deontological theories might lead a manager to make decisions that are fair and just, even if those decisions have negative consequences for the company. It is important for human resources managers to distinguish between teleological and deontological ethics because it can make a big difference in the decisions they make. For example, a manager who is using teleological reasoning might justify laying off employees in order to increase profits, even if those employees have families to support. A manager who is using deontological reasoning would be more likely to consider the impact of layoffs on employees and their families, and might look for other ways to reduce costs.
Now we need to talk about administrative ethics. Administrative ethics refers to a set of normative guidelines that provide a framework for resolving conflicts of interest in a way that promotes the well-being of society. These guidelines help guide individuals and organizations in making ethical decisions and actions within the administrative context. Rights and duties are fundamental concepts in administrative ethics. They refer to the entitlements and obligations that individuals have in their interactions and roles within society and organizations. Rights are the legitimate claims individuals possess, such as the right to privacy, freedom of speech, or fair treatment. Duties, on the other hand, are the moral obligations individuals have to respect the rights of others and fulfill their responsibilities. Behavior policies and practices are essential components of administrative ethics. Policies refer to the principles, rules, and guidelines that organizations establish to govern their operations and behavior. These policies provide a framework for decision-making and actions within the organization. Practices, on the other hand, are the actual behaviors and actions that individuals and organizations engage in. Ethical practices align with the established policies and reflect the values and principles of administrative ethics. Bureaucracy and ethics are interconnected concepts within the realm of administrative governance. Let's explore these points in detail. The need for administrative ethics. Bureaucracy, as a system of organizing and managing public or private institutions, requires a strong foundation of administrative ethics. This is because bureaucratic structures often involve decision-making processes that directly impact individuals and society. Administrative ethics provide guidelines and principles that guide bureaucrats in making ethical choices and actions. It ensures that administrative processes are fair, transparent, accountable, and aligned with societal values and norms. Condoning corruption. Corruption refers to the abuse of entrusted power or public resources for personal gain. Bureaucratic systems can be vulnerable to corruption due to the concentration of decision-making authority and the potential for misuse of power. When administrative ethics are lacking or compromised, it can lead to the condoning of corruption within bureaucracies. This can result in unethical practices such as bribery, favoritism, embezzlement, or nepotism. Condoning corruption undermines the integrity of administrative systems, erodes public trust, and hampers social and economic development. Combating corruption. To ensure the integrity of bureaucratic systems, combating corruption becomes crucial. Administrative ethics play a vital role in this endeavor. Measures to combat corruption include establishing and enforcing ethical codes of conduct, promoting transparency and accountability in decision-making processes, implementing anti-corruption policies and procedures, and fostering a culture of integrity within bureaucracies. Additionally, promoting whistleblower protections, conducting regular audits and investigations, and imposing strict penalties for corrupt practices are essential components of combating corruption. Formal rules and ethics regulations alone are not enough to prevent administrations from using their bureaucratic power to favor special interests. This is because bureaucrats have discretion, which means they have the power to make decisions within certain limits. Formal rules can help to guide bureaucrats' decision-making, but they cannot cover every possible situation. In some cases, bureaucrats may have to make decisions that are not explicitly covered by the rules. This is where discretion comes in. Discretion can be used for good or for bad. It can be used to ensure that the rules are applied fairly and consistently, or it can be used to favor certain interests. When bureaucrats have discretion, they have the power to bend the rules or even ignore them altogether. This is why it is naive to believe that ethic rules will prevent administrations from using their bureaucratic power to favor special interests. Bureaucrats can always find ways to use their discretion to benefit their preferred interests, even if it means breaking the rules.
In the end, the 14 principles of ethical conduct for federal employees are a set of ethical guidelines that all federal employees must follow. These principles are designed to ensure that federal employees act in the public interest and avoid conflicts of interest. One of the 14 principles is led by example. This principle requires federal employees to set a good example for others and to uphold the highest ethical standards.